Hello, and welcome to the Analytical Solution channel, where we explore different digital tools to analyze and visualize data, DIY, digital devices and how to repair them, and many other. Let's start with a seemingly very simple task to build a graph in Power BI, which includes the other category, in which you consolidate some of the data below a certain threshold. This is an example of Nobel Prize winners per country, and you can see that this bar chart shows every single country and the number of Nobel Prize winners until year 2022 including. But very frequently we don't want to show every single value. We want, for example, to show some values up to specific threshold, and then everything which goes below that threshold we want to show under other category. And we want also to change this value of threshold, and we want that Power BI dynamically adjusts the graphic and shows us other categories separately somewhere on the right side. And this is an example which does not have a solution in Power BI, so you have to apply your DAX knowledge, and it takes a lot of thinking just to create such a graph. First of all, let's go to the data page. So the data page contains the complete list of Nobel Prize winners up until 2022, including 2022. I consolidated all the different tables of Nobel Prize winners under different categories of different types of Nobel prizes, for example, for chemistry, for physics, for economics, in one simple table, which I imported into the Google spreadsheets. And the table includes columns, which is a year of win, the name of the Nobel Prize winners, and mostly important, citizenship of the Nobel Prize winner. From here on, from the Google Docs, we can use the data to import it into Power BI and then to start building a graph. Let's start from scratch. Okay, now let's go to Power BI, open a new file, and get the data. So click on Get Data, More. Under More, select Other, and under Other, select Google Sheets. And then select Connect. Insert this link here. Select the spreadsheet that we have to import. Click on it, and then let's start with a small transformation of data, because the first line in this data represents the column name, and Power BI does not automatically recognize it. So let's go to Transform Data. So now we have this table with lines where the first line is actually the name of the column, and we would like to use it as the name of columns. So you have to right click on this leftmost upper corner table symbol and then select Use First Row as Headers. So now the Power BI immediately recognizes the first line as the name of columns. So we finished the transformation of data. Now press Close and Apply. Apply changes. Okay, the data has been loaded now. So now let's try to build a simplified graph, which is just number of Nobel Prize winners per citizenship. To do that, we have to go to the visualizations and select the stacked column chart. And then we have to pull data. So the name in the y-axis category, and the citizenship is on the x-axis name. And the Power BI immediately builds a graph where you can see all the different countries and all the Nobel Prize winners are just counted under each citizenship. But what if we want to show all the countries with the number of Nobel Prize winners below 5 under the other category? Power BI unfortunately does not let you do that. You may group some of the citizenships or countries under a specific group, but then this group will be static. To make the task possible, we have to use DAX. Let's double click on the sheet 2 name of our data and change it to Nobel_Prize_winners. Thus, our data now has a clear name. Next step, we go to modeling, new table, and let's use the following DAX command. This introduces a new table which includes all the citizenships that we have in our data table, Nobel Prize winners, but also adds an additional column which is called Other. Now let's create a new measure. Right-click on the Nobel Prize winner and create a new measure. Add the following DAX command. This DAX command calculates number of Nobel Prize winners per citizenship, which is represented in the country other table. Now let's create a new measure. Right-click on the Nobel Prize winner and create a new measure. Add the following DAX command. This DAX command calculates number of Nobel Prize winners per citizenship, which is represented in the country other table. To understand what this formula does, we can use visuals. Let's go to our graph and pull here this WinsCount, new created measure, delete the count of name, and unfortunately we don't see anything because this formula uses the data from country other table citizenship as category X instead of category X from Nobel Prize winners. So let's delete the citizenship of the Nobel Prize winners table and use instead, pull here, for the X-axis the citizenship from the country other table. Now we can clearly see that everything is sorted according to number of prize winners per citizenship, but this all sorted according to the citizenship from the country other table. And now let's create a slider where we select the value of the threshold. Let's go to modeling, new parameter, numeric range, and the numeric range we leave parameter as a whole number, we leave minimum 0, and let's enter maximum value of 100. And under the name parameter, we specify the name of our slider, which will be maxwin. Let's create this slider. So now we have here a slider which is called maxwin, which is the number of maximum Nobel Prize wins that we want to have per citizenship to be shown on our graph. We can change the slider here, but nothing changes on the graph. But we certainly have the value of this slider, or the value which is set by this slider, as a maxwin value. To use this for the graph, let's introduce a new measure. Right-click on the Nobel Prize winners and then select a new measure. Add a specific DAX command to it. This DAX command calculates the number of Nobel Prize winners per a specific country and returns this number of wins per country if it is above the specified threshold value of max win. But if it is below, it summarizes everything under the other category and returns it. Let's see what it does. Let's pull the Nobel Prize prizes to the y-axis, remove the count of name, but we still do not see anything because we have to remove the old citizenship and use the new citizenship. So now, if we pull the slider, you can immediately see that there is the other category which showed on the graph. Everything seems perfect. The only one problem is that the other category comes next to the United States, a country with the most number of wins. But we would like to have other category somewhere on the right side of the graph. Let's add a new value, which will be this calculated rank. Let's right-click on the Nobel Prize winners and again add a new measure. But this time, this will be a measure which calculates the rank of each citizenship by the number of Nobel Prize wins, with the exclusion of just the other category, which does not have a specific name in our Nobel Prize winners table. In this sense, this rank formula will rank the other category with the lowest rank. So let's do that. But as you can see, nothing has changed on our graph. In order to give the priority to all the different bars on the charts, we have to click on these three dots here. And here you have to sort axis according to our rank. Click on the rank and pull it to the tooltips. And now this is the value that could be used in order to sort all the bars on this graph according to the rank. Let's click on these three dots, here sort axis, and here you now can select rank. And to make sure that the rank is correctly used, we have to use ascending sort, because the number 1 means the highest rank and for example number 20 means the lowest rank. So now we have the bar chart ready. Congratulations, it works. Let's check it. Let's analyze what we have done. In order to create such a very simple chart, we had to create at least 4 different DAX small programs or calculated measures. So this was one table with citizenship, this was rank, this was Nobel Prize wins and WinsCount. So all in all, it contains a lot of DAX measures and calculations. What if you do not know DAX? And how long would it take to figure it out, how to calculate all this and create such measures? Maybe something like ChatGPT can help us to figure it out. Let's take a look at ChatGPT and see if it can provide us with a good solution. So now let's solve more complex problem. We just want to ask ChatGPT to assist us and build a graph which consolidates all the citizenships or countries with a number of Nobel Prize wins below 5 in the other category. Let's take a look if he is able to solve this problem. I did as ChatGPT advised me to do, and it seems to be that the other category is there. Of course, it is not ranked, and it does not change if I change the slider, because the slider is no way connected to this other category. But let's take a look what we have here. So this kind of group citizenship is now contains all the countries with Nobel Prize count, which is below, which is below 5, and all the rest, which is above 5, should be actually reflected at the original citizenship name. And this is exactly how it created this kind of other category. Let's then ask him to try and connect this kind of slider to the created graph. This is more complex solution that I thought. Let's investigate if this is all necessary. Unfortunately, this didn't work, and at the step number 1, Power BI gave me an error, which is this one. So let's try this one. Now I tried to apply the solution, and unfortunately it didn't work. Of course, it is really impressive that GPT was able to provide us at least with partial solution. But you have seen this required a lot of forth and back iteration steps in order to even reach a partial solution, which of course leaves us with understanding that there is a big space for improvement. But this was already very impressive what ChatGPT can do, and I am sure we can improve it further. So I'll keep you posted and will provide further solutions and demonstrate other tools to improve data analysis and visualization. Let me know if you have any questions, and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.